Hey, it's Ray, and welcome to Sober Without God. And today we are going to talk about issues with sobriety or being alcohol free. And I want to remind you that I am not a medical healthcare professional when it comes to stopping drinking. If you have issues with sobriety or wanting to be alcohol free, I encourage you to talk to your medical healthcare professional or talk to someone who specializes in being alcohol free. You can always check out the Reframe app. I encourage you to talk to them, or specifically in today's topic about detox or starting out a program. If you need to check into an inpatient center, please do that. If especially if you've been drinking heavily and for a long time, you might need to detox somewhere. But today I want to talk about a topic that is crucial. I see it pop up a lot, especially in the forums on Reframe. But the first 3 days, the first 72 hours of being alcohol free are crucial. And there seems to be a lot of trouble for people in the first 3 days when they stop drinking. And there's a reason for it. In the first 3 days, as soon as you stop drinking, the first moment that you stop drinking alcohol and you have good intentions of not wanting to go back, your your body changes and you start going through a detox period. And you may think it's all you. You may just think that, hey, I have trouble staying away from this stuff, or I need this stuff, or it's all me. It's not just you. It's a chemical response within your body. There's also a lot going on in your mind, and you need help and you need a community. That's why before you start, you need to have a plan in place to deal with being alcohol free. And that's why I encourage you to have the help of a healthcare professional before you start the detox process. So I pulled up some symptoms of the things that happen within the first 72 hours, the first 3 days that might happen in the in those first 3 days, and they are anxiety and depression, headaches, fatigue, insomnia, jumpiness and nerves. Anxiety is a huge part of it. Heart palpitations, nausea and vomiting, stomach pain, loss of appetite, rapid mood swings, and sweating. So, those are very common if you are going through any kind of alcohol detox. And you may need medical attention if that is you and you encounter any of those things. Depending on the amount of drinking you were doing. If you were just a light drinker, you may not. If you were an extremely heavy drinker, you absolutely may. Um, I have heard stories from people in the medical profession about people who are heavy drinkers and they get in an automobile accident or they end up in the hospital and they are with alcohol. Without alcohol, they will actually give people alcohol while they are in medical care to make sure that they have alcohol with them and are given alcohol or some form of alcohol or some form of medical alcohol to make sure that they don't go into a sudden detox and their body doesn't shut down. So you can't just suddenly go without alcohol, especially if you're a sudden alcohol user. That's why you need to be on some form of drug, or you need to talk to a medical care provider if you are a heavy alcohol user before you start a program, so you don't go into a dangerous form of detox. If you're a moderate to light user, then your medical care provider may tell you that you can go cold turkey. But that's why it's so important to talk to a medical care professional before you start just jumping off right away. So, day one, in when day one happens, you may experience the symptoms of just a mild hangover. Um, some one person said, "I'm forgetful. I had a hard time concentrating, and sometimes it's hard to form meaningful sentences. I'm shaky. I'm anxious." I'm getting this from verywellmind.com, by the way. These are quotes that people gave them. Um, they they felt like they might be able to do it. They felt hopeful. They felt like they could get through the first day. And a lot of people are able to get through that first day. And they're like, this isn't so bad. This isn't that big a deal. And the symptoms start going away. Some people were with moderate symptoms, felt like they needed to go to the ER, and they gave them a drug to get through the day. Some people with severe symptoms shook. So they started shaking uncontrollably and had hallucinations. That's a more severe form of alcohol use, and their blood pressure went way up, and their beats per minute of their pulse went up. That is considered severe symptoms and in need of immediate medical care. So if that's you, then you need to be under the direct uh, provisions of a healthcare provider. So day one is something a lot of people are able to get to, but in any of these days, you need to know that you're going to have moments of loneliness, and if you don't have the support of a community, it's going to be very difficult. And if you don't have somewhere like the app, like the Reframe app, or if you don't have a support group, like if you're not doing AA, or if you're not doing Celebrate Recovery, or if you're not doing SOS Sobriety, and if you're not linked in with other people, it's going to be very hard to white knuckle your way through sobriety. And your first instinct at the first sign of trouble or weakness is to go right back to drink, because your mind and your pathways in your mind are built so that the first trigger and the first sign of trouble that you come to is to go right back to drink. So that was day one. So day two, people report all kinds of other symptoms. Um, some people still have mild symptoms. Some people have more severe symptoms. So some people say experience boredom. Some people experience high anxiety. Some people have sharp pains in their head. Some people can't sleep. Some people get night sweats. Some people get high blood pressure. Some people get say their jaws hurt and they have tension. Some people say they feel better. Those are all considered mild symptoms. Some people have moderate symptoms. Some people say they vomit. Some people that say they can't sleep. Um, some people feel like their hunger comes back a little bit. Other people feel like they get the shakes or the sweats. And some people break down who have moderate symptoms and go visit their doctor and say, hey, I'm breaking off with drinking, and they get prescribed something, and the doctor gives them something to calm down a little bit. Some people with severe symptoms finally start having hallucinations. And again, people with severe symptoms need to get the help of a healthcare professional, and they end up in the ER, and they end up finally talking to their doctor, and they have vivid dreams or again hallucinations. Those people with severe symptoms who are cutting it cold turkey after years of heavy drinking need to be under the care of a physician. And in day two is when your body is like, hey, this is not our normal programming. We're used to having alcohol in this every single day. What in the world is going on? So in day three is where we see a lot of people who are used to drinking, and they get to day three and they're like, we're almost to day three. And a lot of people quit their journey of being alcohol free on day three because it's so intense. And some people think that the alcohol withdrawal symptoms are never going to stop. And so they just go back to drinking on day three. Some people never make it to day three. Some people never make it past day three because the urge to drink just never seems to stop. And all they seem to be doing is fighting the urge to drink. And it's just unrelenting urge to drink. It's unrelenting shaking or unrelenting sweats, and they just want to keep picking up a drink, and they're like, I'd rather live with alcohol than live without than live with these feelings of withdrawal. And I can tell you it'll pass if you can get past day 3, then your body and your mind and will change. The physiology of your body and mind will change. People with mild symptoms report that they have lightheadedness, minor irritability, and insomnia. Um, that some people report no major physical symptoms. Some people reported that they're trying to fight the feeling of just having one drink and maybe ruining 3 days of work. And they're trying to distract themselves so they won't have that one drink. Some people report having ringing in the ears, cold, clammy skin, hot flashes. Hot flashes. Some people with moderate symptoms say that they still have a little bit of the shakes. The pain's gone. Their pupils are huge. Some people say with moderate symptoms that they went from shaking to wanting to scream all day, and they talk themselves into just one more. If I just have one more drink, but then they talked themselves out of it, and then they said I can just make it one more hour. Sleep irregularity was a big thing, but they realized they were almost at the end of day 3, and they knew they could make it. But again, people with severe symptoms ended up in the ER getting fluids, but they knew that they were almost at the end of the road with day 3, and they talked to their healthcare provider. And this last person who was experiencing severe symptoms in day 3, this is the quote they gave. They said, "The third day sober feels like I'm in a big black hole and under great pressure, hard to breathe. Future feels bleak, lost an old trusted friend in alcohol, and I can't find an alternative." Again, I can't encourage you enough. If you are a heavy drinker and you are trying to break it off, you've got to get help from a healthcare professional. If you are going to trying to stop cold turkey, or if you're thinking about going cold turkey, you need something to taper off, some medication to taper off with. And there are medications out there to help with. Um, Day 4 is really kind of the start at the light at the end of the tunnel. Um, it's when the withdrawal starts going away and you start feeling better, and your body kind of starts getting used. You get over the hump and you start feeling better, and you start feeling like getting out of the house and doing things. And some people still have a rough beginning to that 4th day, but day 4 is when you're still going to feel urges. You're still going to feel like you want to you have a drink, and those urges are still going to come in that first week. But it's going to ramp up in days 1 through 3, and then it's slowly going to taper off. But I promise you that being alcohol free and having an alcohol free life is so much better than being dependent on alcohol and living the life that you're living right now. But once again, I plead with you, regardless of how many drinks you're having, whether it's a small amount, a moderate amount, or a severe amount, please get the help of a trusted healthcare professional before you start your journey to quit. Get some help. Talk to people you trust. Get on an app. Talk to people who are in a program and get the help. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and also like and subscribe. And it's good to see you here, and I wish you the best. Have a great day.